Welcome to the ASTRALX Deep Dive, illuminating your path through ancestral skies. I'm Lunaria Celine, your intuitive guide.
And I'm Solarian Zephyr, your cosmic strategist.
Here on the Deep Dive, we bridge celestial wisdom and quantum truths, really aiming to unlock your modern path through Saturn's karmic architecture.
Yes, we want you to discover those starlight insights that can transform authority into legacy.
Exactly, and explore the powerful cosmic tides that are reshaping family foundations right now.
It's all about connection.
So let us ask you this, thinking about your role maybe as a parent. When your child looks at you, do they see the fortress walls of Saturn's duty?
Or do they feel the gravity of, say, a father's love anchoring their sky? It's a powerful image.
It really is. How does your 10th house Saturn maybe silently forge chains? Or perhaps bridges across generations?
And where does that key lie? The one to merging strength with tenderness. That's the big question.
Today, we're diving deep into that very archetype, the 10th house Saturn father. We'll be examining that delicate balance between authority and emotional availability.
Which can be so challenging, right?
Absolutely. And it's not just about public image, is it? It's really about how this placement shapes the very foundations of family dynamics.
And hopefully offering pathways to turn those challenges into profound connection, real legacy.
That's the goal.
So in this deep dive, expect us to unpack quite a bit. We'll look at mythological roots, the astrological mechanics, the nuts and bolts, you could say, plus global perspectives and some really practical embodied tools.
Things you can actually use.
Right. The aim is to help you understand how your Saturn can be like a blueprint for your child's inner resilience.
Yeah.
Their security.
Not a prison warden.
Exactly. Not that. We want to offer clarity on building secure foundations, bridging what is now and what could be in your family relationships.
That's a powerful vision. So let's start by really unpacking Saturn's core identity. Many people hear Saturn and think restriction, hard lessons.
Debt, even cosmic debt. Yeah.
Right. But we want to shift that a bit. Let's try seeing Saturn as maybe a karmic architect.
Ooh, I like that. A builder.
A builder of legacy.
Oh.
And it happens through boundaries and structure, not in spite of them. It kind of sets the stage for thinking about father's duty and that emotional presence.
It does. And what's really fascinating is how this architect's role echoes through ancient myths across totally different cultures. It shows how deep these Saturn lessons run.
So where do we see it first?
Well, think about the Greek Titan, Kronos. He's all about time, order. But he was terrified of being overthrown by his own kids.
The story where he eats them.
That's the one. A bit grim, but it perfectly reflects that Saturn tension, right?
Yeah.
Between a parent's authority and the natural push of the next generation wanting their own space.
That primal fear of being replaced, it can make a father rigid.
Exactly. Then you jump over to Hindu tradition. You have Shani, often seen as slow, stern. Shani represents cosmic justice. The lessons can feel harsh, definitely burdensome sometimes, but they forge resilience, real character.
And that connects to 10th house Saturn fathers.
Directly. They often become these powerful teachers of discipline, maybe demanding, sure, but shaping kids through life's tougher lessons, teaching hard work, patience.
Delayed gratification.
That's a big one. And then one more from Norse myth, Utgara Loki, the illusionist giant.
Right, who tests Thor.
Yeah, with impossible challenges. But he doesn't beat them physically. He messes with their perception, makes them face their limits, build inner strength.
So like Saturn challenging kids.
Exactly. Not to punish, but to push them towards self-reliance. Building their own inner fortitude, not dependency.
Okay, that really clarifies it. It drives home that core idea. Your Saturn isn't some prison warden locking your child down.
No.
It's more like the blueprint for their inner fortress, the structure of their resilience, their integrity.
It empowers them to build their own strength. It's not about your expectations imprisoning them.
Right.
Absolutely. And when we dive into the astrology itself, placing Saturn in the 10th house, the midheaven, really highlights this.
Because the 10th house is what exactly?
Public image, career, authority, society's expectations of you. So fathers with Saturn here often embody that stern provider archetype.
Feeling that weight.
Immense weight, responsibility for the family's standing, security, reputation. Sometimes at the expense of, let's say, overt warmth or casual emotional stuff.
Their identity gets tied up in being the capable head of the house.
Very much so.
And we can see even deeper layers when we look at aspects, right? How Saturn interacts with other planets.
Yes, the aspects really illuminate the inner world. Take a Saturn-Moon Square, for instance. A square means tension, a clash.
Okay.
So here, structure, Saturn, meets emotions,
Yeah.
and nurture, Moon, in this dynamic tension.
Okay.
It often shows up as emotional distance,
But
often masked, by a really strong sense of duty. Liz Green talks about this in Saturn, a new look at an old devil. It makes expressing vulnerability really hard, so they might seem unavailable, even when they care deeply.
got it. What about Saturn opposite Neptune?
Ah, the opposition.
Yeah.
So rigid Saturn versus fluid, dreamy Neptune. That points to tension between structure and, well, emotional fluidity in parenting.
Now, maybe struggling with emotions or dreams.
Big time. A father might find it hard to adapt to emotional needs or abstract ideas. They might prefer structure, maybe even seem unyielding, defaulting to practical fixes or rules instead of, sitting with the feeling.
It's fascinating how these cosmic patterns play out daily. How do we connect this ancient wisdom to maybe more modern ideas, quantum physics even, or history?
Well, the quantum lens is pretty cool here. Think of Saturn's gravitational pull, its ordering force.
Okay.
Imagine it organizing chaos. For an anxious child, the world feels unpredictable, right? So a simple, consistent routine like dad enforcing bedtime isn't just a rule. Quantumly speaking, it's like a space-time anchor.
Ooh, space-time anchor.
Yeah. It creates predictable patterns, a stable framework in their energy field. It grounds them, brings calm. It's subtle but powerful.
I like that. And historically.
Carl Jung's idea of the Saturn-Uranus opposition fits perfectly. It's that classic challenge. Reconciling tradition, Saturn, with innovation, Uranus, especially in fatherhood.
How things have always been versus how they could be different.
Exactly. Fathers have always wrestled with honoring the past, passing down wisdom, but also adapting, letting kids innovate. That constant dance.
It really does seem universal. Speaking of which, how do different cultures view Saturn's role, and what remedies have they come up with?
It's amazing how universal it is, yeah. Even with different flavors. In Vedic astrology, the 10th house is the karmasthana, action, public life, and ancestral duties, or pichurin.
Ancestral debts or obligations.
Kind of, yeah. To ease Saturn's intensity and honor these, there's the Shani Shanti Puja, a ritual to appease Saturn, often paired with wearing amethyst.
For calm and insight.
Right, to navigate those heavy lessons. Then, in Chinese tradition, Saturn is linked to the earth element stability, grounding.
Makes sense.
So a feng shui remedy might be placing mountain imagery in the northwest part of the home, symbolizing strong support, a solid foundation from the patriarch figure.
Interesting. And in the West?
We often hear narratives of career sacrifices for family legacy, choosing a tough path for security, upholding the name.
Sometimes costing personal desires.
Right. A symbolic remedy, maybe adapted from women's traditions, could be like a croning ceremony at big milestones, acknowledging the wisdom, the sacrifices, integrating their life's work.
That's beautiful. It makes me think about the children in this dynamic. I remember an insight from Tokyo astrologer Keiko Ikawa.
Oh, yeah.
She said, Taurus rising children need 10H Saturn fathers to model patience, not punishment. Why Taurus rising specifically?
Ah, that's a great point. Taurus rising kids crave stability, comfort, sensory stuff. They need gentle, firm guidance, not harshness or sudden shifts.
Okay.
So a 10th house Saturn dad, with that drive for structure, might push them too hard, expect results too fast.
Right.
Wakawa's insight is key. For this rising sign, the father's Saturn needs to show up as patient modeling. Consistent, responsible behavior, letting the child absorb things at their own pace.
Building that dependable framework of love and routine.
Exactly. So Saturn becomes a wise mentor, not a taskmaster.
Which leads perfectly into practical tools. When that weight of responsibility feels, crushing, what physical signs can a father look for? How can they release it?
Good question. A big somatic cue is jaw tension. That clenching when you're trying to control things or enforce rules.
Oh, definitely.
Ayurveda suggests marma point massage, gentle pressure, maybe below the cheekbones or temples. Circular motions can release that built-up tension.
Simple but effective. And if they feel totally crushed?
Root chakra grounding can help. The root chakra is about security, stability. Using red jasper, hold it. Visualize strong red light at the base of your spine, connecting to the earth.
Stabilizing, calming anxiety.
Yeah, fostering that sense of security when duties feel overwhelming.
And how does this approach change as the child grows? What's needed at different ages?
Well, from age 0-7, Saturn rules boundaries, routines. Consistency is everything for emotional security then. A father providing that predictable structure, bedtimes, mealtimes, builds an internal blueprint for safety.
Reliable presence, not necessarily rigidity.
Exactly. Then, ages 14-21, that's prep time for their own Saturn return, around 28-30, that big maturity checkpoint. So for the 10th house Saturn dad, this is prime time to mentor their kids' vocational instincts. Help them explore skills, passions, find their own path, not impose one.
Passing on the tools for building, not dictating the design.
You got it. Building that inner structure.
Okay, let's make this really tangible for everyone listening. We've got some interactive things to try. First, a journal prompt.
Ooh.
Ask yourself, when has being the authority inadvertently silenced my child's voice? Then try sketching a dialogue. Imagine Saturn, your duty-bound self, asking Neptune their emotions, their dreams. What do you truly need me to hold, not just control?
That's deep. It forces you to look beneath the surface.
Right. And for a ritual.
How about this? A new moon in Capricorn ritual. Capricorn is all about structure, legacy. Gather family heirlooms, photos, objects, maybe a grandparent's watch, and co-create a legacy altar. As you place each item, say something like, our roots anchor, they don't imprison. Our past supports our future. Grounding history, but emphasizing freedom.
Love that. And an embodiment exercise.
Try the parent-child power stance. Stand back-to-back with your child. Feel each other's spines. Breathe together. Then the father affirms, maybe silently, maybe whispered, my strength supports your rise.
Wow. Simple, physical, powerful. It conveys support and autonomy.
Exactly. Your structure lifts them up, doesn't hold them down.
These are great ways to bridge understanding with, felt experience. Now let's apply this. Take a conflict scenario. A Virgo sun father, meticulous, practical, who also has Saturn in the 10th. Structure, perfection, duty are huge for him.
Okay, classic Virgo-Saturn 10th combo.
And he's raising a Sagittarius child, free-spirited, idealistic, loves exploring unstructured dreams.
Oh boy. Yeah, I see the clash. Virgo's practicality versus Sag's out-there vision.
The conflict is often over criticism, right?
Yes.
Dad criticizing the child's unstructured dreams, their spontaneity, their lack of real-world focus.
Definitely. Virgo's Mercury logic bumps right up against Sag's Jupiter expansion.
Right.
So how do we soften it? An astrological fix could be Jupiter Hour talks.
Jupiter Hour.
Yeah. Schedule 1 hour maybe on Thursdays, Jupiter's Day, just for dream mapping. Zero correction allowed.
A dedicated safe space.
Exactly. Let the Sag kids' wild ideas flow. Dad just listens, asks open questions, marvels at the vision. No critiques.
That takes discipline for the Virgo dad.
It does. And maybe a herbal ally helps. Tulsi tea, holy basil. It calms the mind, aids compassionate communication. Good for smoothing that Mercury-Jupiter friction.
A cup before the talk.
Could help create a more open vibe. And for a stone? Unakite.
Unakite. Why that one?
It's known to bridge the heart chakra emotional safety, acceptance with the crown chakra, higher vision, wisdom. Having it nearby, or each holding a piece, can help them connect, understanding that high expectations can coexist with warmth and dreaming.
That's a really holistic approach, building bridges. Okay, looking ahead. What potential pathways do you see for these 10th house Saturn fathers, say, heading towards 2026-2030?
Well, I see maybe 3 main routes. First, they could consciously embrace the Saturn-Neptune thing, structure and fluidity.
How would that look?
By 2026-30, maybe teaching structure through art.
Yeah.
Father-child pottery. Saturn's form meets Neptune's creativity. Building legacy through expression, depth.
Nice. What's the second path?
Resisting emotional growth. Sticking rigidly to the stern provider role. The risk there. The child might seek surrogate fathers, mentors outside the family.
Especially with Pluto and Aquarius coming, that tech tribe era.
Exactly. Kids will gravitate to where emotional support and innovation are valued. The rigid structure might feel isolating.
And the third?
The most transformative, maybe.
Yeah.
Consciously healing ancestral wounds around duty, sacrifice, emotional repression.
What could come from that?
Family legacy startups. Saturn in Aries entrepreneurship, but built on resolved past patterns. Authentic, empowered family lineage.
Wow. And speaking of shifts, 2025 brings Saturn into Pisces. What's the big message there for these fathers?
Huge message. It's a call to lead with compassionate boundaries. Pisces softens Saturn's edges, demands empathy, intuition, spiritual understanding within authority.
So structure, yes, but with feeling.
Absolutely. Firmness, but understanding emotional needs. Building a legacy of both form and feeling.
That's a big evolution. To grasp these archetypes better, maybe some cultural metaphors help. I think of Mufasa in The Lion King.
Yes. Perfect example.
He balances that kingly duty protecting, teaching Simba the rules with real emotional presence, authority, but also deep love, wisdom, empowerment.
Definitely. And a modern icon. Maybe Barack Obama. His Capricorn ascendant is very 10th house energy, public image, responsibility.
Right, that presidential authority.
But he balanced it with that warm, relatable dad Jove presence, didn't he? Showed gravitas doesn't have to kill warmth. Reliable presence, genuine care.
Great examples. And it highlights that while we say fathers, this really applies more broadly, doesn't it?
Absolutely. We need inclusive language. Caregivers with 10H Saturn. Non-binary parents as legacy keepers. The energy applies regardless of gender. And Demetra George has a great insight here. Capricorn moon fathers nurture through reliable presence, not hugs.
Meaning nurture isn't always overt affection.
Right. Sometimes it's consistency, dependability, providing security, practical care, love rooted in stability.
We've covered so much ground myths, astrology, quantum ideas, rituals. It's important to note this is all grounded in solid resources, right?
Absolutely. We lean on academic anchors like Robert Hand's houses, Temples of the Sky for House Systems, K.N. Rao's Putru Dosha Solutions for Vedic Insights.
And contemporary voices.
People like Chani Nicholas with You Were Born for This, and the deep psychological work in Jungian astrology like Liz Green on Saturn and the Oedipal complex.
And you verified things, too.
Yes, standard practice. Astra.com positions cross-checked with Ephemeris for 2000 to 2025, Cultural Remedies verified with Dr. S.K. Jain, an Ayurvedic astrologer in Mumbai, ensuring authenticity.
Good to know.
So, the final message really is this. Your Saturn isn't a wall-blocking connection, it's the bridge, the architecture for your child's inner strength.
Lay each brick with intention.
With compassion, with wisdom. Use Saturn's gravity to build secure foundations, not fortresses that imprison.
Beautifully put. As our cosmic journey concludes, we invite you to dive deeper into your own unique path between authority and vulnerability.
Yeah, take that next step.
Request your personalized Saturn audio reading via email. You'll find the link below in the description. And explore the episode resources we mentioned. Shani Shanti mantras, those legacy altar blueprints, Unakite rituals for father-child healing.
All the practical stuff.
All the details await in the description, ready to guide you.
Ignite your legacy. Father beyond form. Become the bridge.
Subscribe for more Starlight insights and cosmic wisdom. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive.